one of the things that, as I'm always doing business, I was doing real estate, but I'm really taking my health to the highest level that I can take it to, right? Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Duran. I'm here with the DB Business and Blueprint podcast. This right here is something totally different, man. First, let me say Happy New Year. All right. Happy New Year 2025. And we're going to take a whole totally different turnaround, right? We talking about doing not a 360, but a 180, doing something that I have heard about through my good buddy Adam Smith, and that's going to Costa Rica, down to Rica to experience the ceremony of the Ayahuasca ceremony. All right. So, if you listen to this and you might be like me, I never knew anything about ayahuasca. I never heard anything about it. But I did my homework, but I got my good friend, my buddy Adam's on. And the crazy thing is we are currently leaving here within less than 24 hours. I'll leave here about, in another 6 hours and be headed out to Costa Rica. And because we got a group going down there. Him and his wife Dee will put this team together. Great people to go down there to experience this together. So, we created this podcast so we can capture, before we're going to capture some things that's going to happen in between. And we also going to capture, going to talk about how was it, because we plan to stay there a little longer. So with that being said, man, I want to introduce you to my man, Adam Smith, man. What's going on, Adam?
Hey, what's going on, D? Thanks for having me on. Excited about this trip. I guess I want to talk a little bit about, how I first found out about ayahuasca and then how it led up to this and us planning this trip together. So a few years back, just, when I was on my growth path, just trying to improve my life, trying to get better in every way that I could. My wife and I had started meditating. Something that was, extremely helpful. It worked really well. So we started going to these meditation retreats. And so at one of those retreats, we were having lunch and I heard somebody mention ayahuasca, and I had heard about it before. I just didn't really know a lot about it. So she went into detail and told us about her experience, and her purpose for going was she had a lot of past trauma that she needed to deal with. And the way that she described it, and still to this day, it's an accurate way of describing it, is that her experience in one night was equivalent to getting 10 years of therapy. So when I heard that, that definitely sparked my interest. My wife was interested. So we just kind of started doing some research on it. And we'd asked her, where she had gone to do it. And she said that she went to this place called Rhythmia in Costa Rica. She had talked about some of the other options. Some people will elect to ride a canoe up the Amazon in the middle of nowhere, and you'd be in a hut with nobody around, no hospitals, no nothing. Then she described this place in Costa Rica and said effectively you still get the traditional experience because they bring the shaman from the jungle to do the ceremonies there, but you're in a 5-star resort. So it's a comfortable place. They have medical staff there. So once we had heard about that, we started watching videos, got really interested. And myself, I definitely know that I was suffering from PTSD, everything from childhood stuff to things that happened in my teens, 20s, events that definitely affected me. Although, you tend to just kind of push that stuff down and just keep moving and just say, hey, I'm fine. But I guess I got to this point to where it was, I just felt it was time to start dealing with that stuff. So Dave and I watched these videos, got interested and signed up. And, about 6 months later, we end up in Costa Rica. And it was a little overwhelming at first, knowing that we weren't going to just do it one night, but we were going to do it 4 nights in a row. But they kind of ease you into it. They educate you on it. You do classes. They tell you about everything. And then even the first night, it's designed to just kind of ease you into it and not scare you too much. So I'll say that out of those 4 nights, I was able to deal with things I didn't even register that I needed to deal with. Things in my childhood, things in my past. It wasn't even necessarily specific traumatic events that I thought, was going to be the first thing that would come up. So effectively it is this, you're taking a hallucinogen Ayahuasca it's a vine and a leaf that they combine into a brew to allow your body to digest the DMT that's in it. And, when your body, takes in DMT, it'll give you a hallucinate, it could make you hallucinate. It gives you a meditative experience, something that's kind of similar to mushrooms, but I would say much more intense. And it comes with, traditional experience. You have shaman there, they're playing music. They're there to support you. They're helping you through this experience. So, for myself, each night it was something different. And sometimes it surprised me. Sometimes it would take, I was taken back to my childhood as early as 3 years old, and having memories come flooding back that I hadn't thought about since then, which was kind of crazy. So it really does open your subconscious and kind of bring these things to the forefront. And, if it was something traumatic, it will put it in front of you and effectively have you deal with it right then and there. If there's forgiveness, if there's shame, if there's, letting go, all these feelings or things that you may have been carrying for a long time, you'll get to take care of that right then and there. So each morning, after you do this, you feel like you're just kind of letting these rocks out of your rucksack. Like you've been carrying around this weight your whole life, and you just start letting those rocks out. And by the time that you're done at the end of the week, you feel like you're a few 100 pounds lighter. So it's a transformative experience.
Yeah. And one of the things that one of the things too, I think is important, the people that's listening is you and your wife didn't go one time, but y'all have been to Rica twice. And this right is actually your third time going about it. Why have you decided, you and your wife, to go and make this 3 times? Because we go out with a group of people, right? Like how many people are we going with?
We got 10 going.
Yeah, so we got 10 people going, all right, to experience this. And what's the reason to go back for a third time?
Yeah, so the first time I went, each night that I took this medicine, I'm thinking that, oh yeah, I've got these ideas of maybe here's a few things in my life that need to be dealt with or need healing. And it would just take me for another ride. And sometimes it just, take me to an unexpected place. And so it made me realize just how complex humans are, and the human psyche, and that, ayahuasca will kind of do what is best for you, whether you know it or not. So you might go in there with this preconceived notion as to what you're there to deal with. And then it just kind of seems to know what you really need at that time, and makes that decision for you. So after 4 nights there, I realized, okay, I dealt with some things that didn't even include what was on my list. So I elected to come back a second time and see if I could tackle that list, which I did effectively. The second time I came, some of those things that I had on my list did come up, and then a few other ones, again, a few more surprises. So between those 2 trips, it just made me realize how complex the mind is, and that it's not just about healing specific traumas, but it's like an educator. And I don't think there's a specific amount of times that you need to do ayahuasca. I think it's something that you can continue to do. It's a tool that just kind of helps you to become more self-aware, learn more about yourself, and just deal with things.
Right. Yeah. And one of the okay, so you went 3 times. My question is, all right, if you're watching this, you might be thinking like me, right? I'm telling you, I'm nervous. I didn't watch videos. I went podcasting. I went to go look at the reviews. I seen hundreds and thousands of reviews. We talk about 5 stars. I started doing my research. I see a lot of celebrities go. People that that I see on TV. I mean, that's all. They do. It's a lot of people that's doing it. And one of the things that me and you talk about is how American, big pharmacy, right? They don't want to heal you, right? So we talk about all the time going outside of the U.S. and finding the best treatment. This ain't nothing like we just rolling up to, man. Like we know that there's countries out there with better healthcare, better treatment that will make your body, without, saying stuff that will heal you, right? Heal you without taking all the medicine, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that in the U.S., they take this medicine, take this pill, take this pill, take this pill. And that's going to continue to make money for the big pharmacists. But by you going there, all right, twice already, just for those that listening, like, they just like, like, again, we creating this so we can give you and show you the whole process from A to Z. But some of the things that you can just list off that ayahuasca, can help with, it might have been people that was there, that was dealing with something. I don't know if they shared that with you or anything like that, but can you just name a couple of things that, just common things that ayahuasca help with?
Yeah. So some of the most obvious ones are going to be, I would say on the milder side of mental illness, because if it's really severe and it's something like schizophrenia, you're really not supposed to do ayahuasca. But if you're suffering from things like PTSD, bipolar disorder, some of those things are I would say are definitely treatable with ayahuasca. It's not something that's going to treat the symptom. It's something that's going to treat the root cause. And that was my experience with it. Definitely had PTSD for a number of years. Some of the symptoms that I would have had are just kind of walking around feeling like something's always about to happen. Something bad is always about to happen. And that's a feeling of anxiety. And it's kind of like you're in fight or flight mode nonstop. And I was probably like that for more than 10 years. Not a fun way to live. And after doing ayahuasca, it really took me back to those root causes of, why I had PTSD in the first place. And in multiple nights, and it wasn't just one thing that caused it. It was a lot of things. And so there were multiple nights where I was dealing with these different things that really led me down that road. And each one of those nights, after coming to a resolution, I felt like a different person the next day. And then after going on 2 trips, drinking ayahuasca 8 different times, I can tell you that I don't have any symptoms of PTSD today. It's made me a lot calmer. It's alleviated any of those nagging like fears in the back of my mind, or always thinking something bad's going to happen. That's just not there anymore.
Okay, so you mentioned PTSD. Obviously, there was, what I have read is that, you're in this room with a group of people, right? 60, 50 or whatever. I don't know the total of them, but say y'all in the room, there's different things happening, different people that they dealing with, right? For you, it's PTSD. But I was reading other things that, it may be like, someone have pain in their back, or like, is there like, what other things other than the PTSD and all that? Like, is there any other things that ayahuasca that you heard or you witnessed or talked to someone that it helped other than that?
There was a woman there that the first time I went that suffered from fibromyalgia. It's my understanding that after her leaving and being in the chat groups, that she had no more symptoms of fibromyalgia after doing ayahuasca. There was a woman there that showed up with, actually when she went there, it was her second time, and she was telling a story that right after one of the ceremonies that she was diagnosed with cancer before she went the first time. And that after she went back to get to run tests again, and no longer had any cancer, and said that her doctors were shocked about it. And I'm not making any claims that ayahuasca alone will just cure cancer, but it's a story that I heard this woman tell. I have no reason not to believe her. So that's pretty extraordinary. Skin disorders or fibromyalgia, and really anything that is like stress induced, physical pain. One thing that the shaman, talked to me about, because I had physical pain too, that wasn't present after doing ayahuasca, is they said that when you do suffer some of these traumatic events, that your body tends to store that trauma, and that it can cause inflammation. And so you might have, joints that are hurting, lower back pain. And those types of things, if it is trauma that's being stored and it's causing that inflammation and causing that pain, and then you deal with the trauma, well, there's no reason for that inflammation and pain to be there anymore. And so that was an experience that I had personally.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just, like you said, like, me, I've been in the military 20 years, retired military, been retired for a little less than 2 years, and, went through the whole process of, stress and pain, like, getting out the military. Oh my God, I got joint pain, I got back pain, I get steroids shot in my back, I got a bad hip for jumping out of the plane. I just got all these things going on with my body. And that's one of the biggest things that I'm looking and hoping I can get some healing from. And because I've been carrying that pain. I'm only 40 years old, but the military have a toll on my body. And and not only that, I'm also looking, I'm I'm a serial entrepreneur. One of the ways that I have always dealt with any stress or PTSD, I found myself just staying busy. My mind go 100 miles per hour. And I'm okay. That's how I live. My mind always racing. I'm always keeping myself busy. So that's how I was able to cope with what I'm doing or anything like that. I don't get stressed because I always got something. I got another task to do. I do it all the way from morning to the time to go to bed. And I want to fit stand. I also want to go to the next level. I want to scale my business. I want to be a better father, better husband. And I just want to grow. You know what I mean? I want my family to continue to grow. I want the people around me to grow. And I just want to come in 2025 doing something different that's going to take me, my family, to the next level. And not just me, just the people around me. So I'm super, super excited. But I do, before we wrap this up, because if you're watching this again, we're going to do recordings, we're going to do clips, all right, throughout from, right now, Adam, he's currently up in the DMV area up in Virginia. I'm in Hawaii. We both leave out and head to Costa Rica. We both land around, I think I land there about 1:00. And then from there, Sunday, we all will get there at the resort. So, but if they are watching this real quick before we end this, if they are watching this, what should someone that's thinking about going, how do they prepare? Like, what are some of the things that look, you can't do this before you come, right? Because I know that we got a list of things that we couldn't do. You couldn't drink, you can't eat fried foods. A lot of that stuff I don't do anyway, right? So it was real easy when I was looking at it, because I think one of the things is you're going to be eating plant-based food. You're going to be eating clean food. We're going to be having massages there. There's going to be, yoga or anything that you want to do. It's a wellness, like a wellness retreat center, right? Okay. You want to share some of those things?
Meditation and breath work help you prepare, because when you are, when you're kind of under, during the ceremony, and you start to feel anxiety, because you can, and you might likely feel that, you need to be able to breathe, to kind of calm yourself down. So the meditation and breath work help a lot, and they actually do that while we're there too. So even outside of the ceremonies, we will do some breath work, and they'll teach you how to breathe. So that's definitely helpful. And then the diet that we have to follow prior to going is no beef, no pork, nothing with heavy sodium, no processed foods whatsoever. Limits on certain medications, certain vitamin supplements as well. Definitely no drugs, no alcohol, and then no sexual activity also for at least 3 days before and 3 days after, and during the whole process as well. But that reminded me that one of the other things that it's been really helpful for people that have drug and alcohol problems, because when they go, typically they're drinking or doing drugs for some other reason, right? It's not that they're necessarily just addicted to the alcohol or what they're doing. It's that something else is made them want to do it. So maybe they've got some traumatic events in their life that they need to deal with. And so it's common that somebody will go there with an alcohol problem, deal with their trauma, and they won't want to drink when they're done.
Oh, that's good. All right. Hey, look, man, we're going to wrap this thing up, man, and get ready to leave out. I'll see you in Costa Rica. If you're watching this podcast or YouTube video, we want you to stay tuned, because I will see y'all in Costa Rica. And we're going to keep these clips short. We're going to give you a break. Like, we're going to talk about what happened each day. All right. And we're going to try to keep this video about 45 minutes. All right, now. I see you. Appreciate it, Adam. I see you soon. Hey, catch y'all on the other side.
All right, see you tomorrow.
All right, so I'm just now getting back to the room. It is 3:05 a.m. That was my second ceremony. We started at 5:30. We didn't take our first drink probably till around like 6:30 of ayahuasca. I'm just tired. Um, uh, I have not yet had my breakthrough. I will tell you though that I would say, as far as most of the people that's here, um, is getting a different experience, the experience that they're supposed to be getting. I just haven't yet had it. I had a little bit of it yesterday for about, maybe it was like maybe for like 20 minutes. But other than that, today, man, it's just Just a normal day for me, honestly. I did go talk to a counselor. They do have counselors here. And one of the things is that because of the way that my mind operates, I'm always thinking, it never stops. I'm thinking about this, still thinking about that. It did say that, you know what I'm saying, uh, the counselor that I talked to in particular, you know what I'm saying, mentioned that there may be something else, you know what I'm saying, that I could try. You know what I'm saying? Not to drink anything, but maybe one-on-one versus group settings. We got about 80 people in there. Music on, you know what I'm saying, lights off, smoke, purging all night, you know, and I'm just sitting there. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Looking at the schedule right now, Wednesday, 7 o'clock, yoga. So it's about less than 4 hours, and got a couple of free times, got meditation, and then it's back to the ceremony, 5:30. So again, you know what I mean? These are long days, you know what I mean? 18-hour days, which is my normal thing to do, you know? All right, so we'll see. See you tomorrow. All right, so check it out. I am here in Costa Rica. I'm actually on day 2, not day 1. And the reason because I didn't really know that the ceremonies of drinking the ayahuasca started on the first day, which was Monday, right? On top of that, they lost my baggage. So when we first got here in Costa Rica, they came, picked us up, brought us down to the airport, and first day, every day, is all about classes. So they actually give you this cool calendar here to show you all the classes that you do to prepare you before you to drink the ayahuasca. So yeah, day 1, you know, you do the introduction to the plant-based medicine. You got a bunch of classes that you can do to help prepare you to what to expect when taking the medicine. But I had a guest speaker. But day 1, man, was very interesting. Went inside, it's about 80 of us here. We came out here in a group of 10 of us out of, you know, about 80 people. And you pretty much just go in there. It's this washroom. Everybody got their own individual mattress. You got a bucket. But yeah, you go in and you got to go with your mindset to receive who you are. To also, the first question, you want to know who you become. So they have it structured pretty well. And the owner, Jerry, got an amazing story, man. This guy pretty much was a drug addict, and you know, sold his company for like 100+ million, walked away with $61 million. And his calling was to come here and build this facility where it helped people find their miracle. Part of the reason that we're here for, trying to figure out like what's next for me, what's next for my, how do I go to the next level? You know what I'm saying? Just trying to get that clarity. But yeah, man, hey, last night it started at 5:30. We did not finish until 3:30 in the morning. This is not a place you're gonna come out here and you think you're gonna chill out, you're gonna chill by the pool and all that. No, you're not gonna do that. You're gonna have a full day right here of classes that, first class starts 7 a.m. and then all the way, down to 5:30 when you start ayahuasca. And you probably got like 2 or 3 hours during the day time to have your break. But the grounds are clean. The food that you eat is all clean food, all plant-based, organic food. Breakfast is served from 7 to 9:30, lunch 12 to 2:30, dinner is 6 to 8:30. Now here's a kicker though. While you Monday through, so you drink the medicine Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and there's intermediate fasting, so you're not eating lunch. So you're not eating dinner, so you only got breakfast and lunch. So pretty easy for me. I eat pretty clean. I do a lot of intermediate fasting. But yeah, I just want to give you, that's right now. It's currently we got like 15 minutes before we start the next ceremony, day number 2. And it's going to be interesting. Stay tuned.
All right. Hey, look, man, we're going to jump right into it. All right. So right now, today, we are in May. We went to ayahuasca 4 months ago. So we post 4 months in a few weeks, right?
And one of the things is that it took us a while to do this. A lot of people know moving parts and all this, but I think the listeners, the people watching this, we want to jump straight in there. And I'm going to set the scene if I haven't already went over it, but I really want to talk about when you go inside in the ayahuasca and what to expect, right? So right off the bat, there's about 80 of us there. They called the women in first. You come in, you'll scan a wristband. This band that you're scanning is for them to collect data, right? Just for the collect data. As you enter inside of when you're going through the ceremony, there was like 100 beds just laid on the floor, like a single mattress bed with you had your cup, you bring your cup like a shot glass for your ayahuasca. There's a blanket, there's a bucket, right, for your purging, and then also there's tissue, right? Everybody got tissues, and all the shamans are sitting around and to make sure they dare to protect, make sure you're good, saying that throwing up, purging, or whatever the case may be, make sure they cleaning you up and all that. But hey, we're gonna jump in it, man. So I got Adam, I got Pam. We went with a group of us, right? How many was it? Adam, it was
10 of us.
10?
Yeah.
So it was 10 of us. Now remind you when we first started, how many people we have, Adam?
20.
Yeah.
20. 20 people.
Yeah, we lost a few.
Talking about, man, we lost a few, man. We lost 50% of the crew. They fell out, right? And I think because people just know uncertainty, not knowing. I know ayahuasca, like, what is this? Saying why it's not, why I haven't heard of it. I'll tell you one thing. If you live in America, you know about big pharmacists, meds, anything that's going to heal your body, right? Where this right is a plant-based medicine, all right? But, we're going to jump in it, but we're going to go around because I want to talk about, I had covered this as a clips that day 1, day 2 for me, I didn't get as much, but it's enough for me. I want to turn it over to Adam. Hey, Adam, this is how many times again you did it? We already covered it, right?
11 times.
So these are 11 times. Tell me that week, right? If you were to sum it up, can you in this 11th time, tell me what you experienced?
So going into it, even though you've already done it before, you really don't know what to expect because each time that you do it, it can be completely different from the last. So there's always anxiety going into it. There's always some fear, just the unexpected and not knowing, what you're going to get. And just like all the other times I did go into it was a fair amount of anxiety and fear. Funny, going into it, feeling those things, that seemed to be the theme for my trip. It seemed to be all about fear. While I've dealt with other things in past trips, this one first started out really about you guys, getting everybody else there to help with their stuff and feeling comfort knowing that I was, giving people a shot to get some healing, to help themselves. And then it quickly started to transition in the second night to about me. And then there was Tuesday evening. That's usually the rough one, right? It's when they play the choppy music and, things kind of go wild, the room lights up. So that night for me was all about fear. And there was a point where I had felt this overwhelming amount of anxiety. And I thought I was going to pass out. And so
right.
the shaman had come over to give me some help. And I was about to fall over and I'm reaching out. One of the guys had been like holding me from falling. And then he just walks away. And when he walks away, I feel like I'm being completely abandoned. And I imagine this has something to do with, what I was there for. But when he walks away, as it turns out, he was just going to give me another bucket. But it felt like he had just completely disappeared and never came back. So there was just this overwhelming amount of fear that I was getting from that at that moment. The shaman came over, they worked on me, they used their potions, all their bag of tricks, and it worked out, and I was able to push through it. But the rest of the night, that theme did come up, and it was all about fear. And for me personally, it resonated with me because I think there's this, I'm at this point in my life to where I feel like I'm trying to get to that next level, and there was just something holding me back. And
right.
it really opened the door for me to let me know that what was holding me back was just this underlying fear that I maybe wasn't able to identify.
Yeah.
And it shined a light on it. And so, it helped me deal with it and get through it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And look, I was there again. They separated the females first. They went in the room. After the males came in. And I was, like I said, the first 2 days I really didn't feel too much. And I look, what's going on over there with Adam? Like, you know what I mean, everybody else like, what's going on? Like, what, because I haven't had anything, right? And I would save my story, my little piece of it, but I'll go with Pam. Obviously, this is a journey that I kind of just been like a new hobby to me, researching anti-aging, longevity living. That's why I got my Whoop watch. You know what I'm saying? I'm this is like you got your Whoop watch. Pam, where your Whoop at? You got your Whoop on? No Whoop. All right, of course.
No Whoop today. No Whoop today.
No Whoop today. All right, but saying this is a new hobby, man, that we embarking on and learning about what's out there in the world to help. So, but I want to shoot it over to Pam, right? Was there any like the most powerful moments or experience during your ceremony, during that time when we was there? Can you like talk about it? How many times you had? Like was it every day, or you want to share what you got to share? Your story, your journey through ayahuasca.
So first, I would like to thank both Diva and Adam for, preparing us with all of the counseling, with all of the group settings that help us get this information. So once we got there, we were kind of set up with expectations. So thank you, Diva, for that. So once I did get there, like Adam shared, of course, you're going to have your sense of, you don't know what to expect, but I came open, like I had an open mind. I already had some things jot down because they was like, hey, make sure you kind of write some things down that you feel like you might want to work on, or you just feel like that you've had experiences going on through your life. So I kind of did my homework. So once I got there, even starting out with just the schedule and some of the things that they prepare us with, clean eating, that experience in itself too was great. We missed the first breath work, but everybody was like, 'cause of course we had a group chat, so everybody was like, oh my God, the breath work was so good. So of course that was like, oh my God, I missed it, but it made me want to do it right when it was time for the other days. But I would say, so my first day, like Duran shared, he said, you go in this room and it's just mattresses everywhere. And so I was trying to find my space. And of course, there's other people there. So I did want to be like to myself. I did want to be able to focus on me, because we had group of individuals that we knew. I did not want to be focused on, seeing what they were going through. I was trying to, focus on me. So I would get in each corner. Like I would just find a corner, no one's around me. And it was actually no one to my left or my right. So every time I picked, I always made sure I was in a corner. So, but I would say for me, the first day, it was very slow. I take pride in when I say I follow instructions well. So, any and everything that they were telling us to do, even in the classes and stuff, I'm like, I'm going to do the work, right? You don't fly across the world, and don't try to do the work. So I was very intentional when I went there to try to do every step that they asked us to do. And so it took a while. So I'm like, oh my God, am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Like, because they give you these steps. And it wasn't until the second step on the first day. And I went in initially saying, I'm not going to take the second cup. So I don't know what changed my mind, but I was like, okay, let me just do it. So I took the second cup. And then after that, that's when I start feeling it, emerging in me. And I could tell, okay, it's working. Day 2 was slow for me. as well. So my highest experience was day 3. Yes. And that was ladies' night, right? Yeah, the night everybody thought, in my husband's word, I'm not going to repeat it, but anyway, ladies' night was my highest peak. And it wasn't until, not during the ceremony, it wasn't until I returned to my room. So you're thinking like, hey, everything is happening when you're in that space. And for me, it doesn't. Like, you're still continuing your journey throughout the day, and things like that. So part of everything by the 3rd day, I was feeling how, like, words that you tell yourself, emotions, like everything was bridging together. Like, I could tell and understand everything that I was telling myself. I felt like, my mind, my body, and my soul was all collectively. So we get back to the room, and one thing me and Duran always did, we always, shared our experiences. Like, hey, how was your night? How was your night? So we always did a check-in with each other. And so I don't know if we can share, but we were still on cloud 9 is what I'll say. So I was like, hey, how you feeling? Like, we were still, like I said, on cloud 9. And so I was still like telling him how everything was going with me. Well, actually, you shared first, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Duran shared first, so I waited my turn. And then while I'm sharing my experience, and for me, I felt like I was so excited. I was so happy, or in a place where I felt like I was relieved. Like, as I'm talking to him, sharing with him, I could feel like my body was like telling me like that was my breakthrough. So there's portions where I can't elaborate on because I kind of went out, and then Duran was able to see the other experience of my breakthrough. As to you gonna share, Duran, or no?
Man, it's your story. I can like.
I wasn't present for
Yeah. So
that
yeah. So
portion, so.
yeah. No. So Pam probably had, based off us talking, she probably had one of the highest breakthroughs of going through there. And we was talking, sharing stories. She ended up kind of like passed out, kind of like she was still conscious, right?
Or like,
Yeah. Yeah. She was out of it, right?
okay.
And she was out of it. And it was seemed like there was something being released from her. I mean, she went into a like her, she just went into this, like on her knees type.
Lifeless.
Yes, like a lifeless in her knees. Her knees, she was on her knees, and then just something seemed like it just came out, right? And then it lasted maybe like less than 2 minutes. She was going through this, right? I don't know what's going on, right? I'm like trying to hit her, smack her on the face, and again, she was out of it, right? But we I was like, she ended up coming back, right? I was like, did you know what just happened? Like, I'm looking at her, I'm like,
I could tell from looking at his face that there was something that he had seen, experienced from me that I was not aware of. So I'm like, no, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? He was like, Pam, you were gone. He was like, I'm calling your name. I'm telling you to wake up, and you're not coherent, basically.
And in a better way, she was just talking and just drop, boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I was really like excited,
having full conversation. But then you get a little hot, right? And then so
yes, that was the key word.
Yeah,
I told him, not too much information, but we were in the shower. But I was like, it's getting hot. And then, but I was still talking, having a conversation, and then
that happened, and then we end up going and make sure you have fluids and all that. But we end up talking and come to find out, like, say, okay, now that's probably the highest. Like, that's when you get through these levels, right? These levels of breakthroughs, what you're doing. You're having a breakthrough. You know what I mean?
It's a sense of relief.
It's a sense of release when you have those, we
whatever I was carrying, whatever right. Like, I knew what I went there for. I felt like it was released.
Yeah. So we end up, skipping that night, right? That the following night, but the last night, right, which is I believe that was Friday night,
Yes.
which is the longest. We actually went. We still went. We went at the end to do a special blessing. That's when they individuals go around and saying the shamans bless you. But in fact, it was us. I didn't even know freaking Adam. He was sitting right there. I'm like,
Everybody get
he
their
didn't
personal
show up. He didn't do it.
blessing.
Yeah, everybody. So I'm up here with Pam, and I got my eyes closed, and the shamans is doing their thing. They pray, whatever they're doing. They're doing their thing, doing that healing, this special healing that they doing everyone. And by the time we, I get up, I look, Adam right here beside me. I was like, how you get here? So yeah, which was, the overall experience for me, right? For me was, and I was laying down on the first, I had two reactions and I'll be real quick. The first laying down, and I remember just hearing this music on breathe, and I'm like, I'm here again, man. Nothing still ain't happening, and I'm just breathing, and then I see, I'm looking up in the ceiling, and I see different shapes and patterns and colors. I'm like, oh boy, now we cooking. Something about to happen, right? So I'm breathing. I was like, please stay asleep. You know what I mean? Or something. Because, I got my eyes closed and I open my eyes and my eyes are like literally locked in. I'm looking at this pattern and I take this breath, this big breath, like, and then my mouth just remained open. So I'm breathing in and out my mouth now like that. And then I just started to see something come out the ceiling, right? Like this magical, clear, foggy, different colors, right? And what it did is it literally go and hit me right here, and kind of like you feel something like you're having surgery, because they said that some people are gonna have surgery, right? I thought, what you mean somebody's gonna have surgery? And guess what? That's what I went through. I went through the process where it went in, right? And it just start going in, you feel it inside your stomach, inside my left side, and then it patched me up, and then it went up again. It went up under my rib cage, and I was like, what in the world just happened? And then after that lasted about 40 minutes or so. And then right after that, there's photos of pictures just start. I'm seeing so many people just popping up. And that's when the picture popped up of this guy that I just met with, that I was going to actually hire to bring on my team, and said, this person is not for you. Just like that. Like this person is bad. You know what I mean? This is just not going to be a good person to be in your business. And then it said, you built this business. You said you need to protect the people around you in your company that you built. Like literally, like it gave me the answers. You know what I mean? So I had that breakthrough, and then they called it Ladies' Night, Women's Night. Again, I was on cloud nine. I said, you know what? I guarantee if I go outside, nobody's gonna be in there, because during this whole thing, people just getting up, they walking around, and I used to go outside. I'm like, man, I'll be out there. The first 2 days out there, twirling my thumb. I'm just waiting. I'm ready for this thing to be over with, because I didn't have a breakthrough yet. And I'll never forget, I was able to try to get up, and I couldn't get up. I was like on the bed, I'm like trying to lift up, I can't get up. And then eventually, I was like, yo, I got to get up. But I guarantee no one is outside tonight. And I went outside, and there was no one. Almost 100 people there, 80-something, 90 people. There was no one outside but the shamans, right? Except for that one kid, the one guy, the Asian guy. I forgot his name. What's his name, Adam?
I forgot his name, but yeah, he was the one outside.
Yeah, he was out there. He goes all the time. He was out there, doing his thing, but there was nobody else out there. Nobody. And I literally, something said, hey, walk this way. And it was telling me like, hey, like kind of my military days, perimeter been and come back, and I'm walking, and I'm finding things out. I'm seeing things triggered like sensors, and like, that's a sensor right there. And you didn't know it was a sensor. And you heard it, and everything is like going slow motion. I was able to predict things before it even happened. You know what I mean? Which was a call in, a special power that I always have had, you know what I'm saying, that I don't share that much. And that doesn't happen all the time, but I do have that, which I'm blessed with. But, ayahuasca for us, it's and hear other people's stories is pretty amazing. You know what I'm saying? Just to listen to some of these stories of, these people come from all the way around the world and they open up, they share their stuff, and they're trying to get healed and they're trying to become better. And and just, it's not just anxiety, but this thing can heal all types of things like cancer or, it's a medicine. And how long did medicine stay in your body? Like up to how many was it?
6 months, right?
At least, yeah.
So,
Yeah,
so you have it in your body, your bloodstream for you said 6 weeks or 6 months?
6 weeks, and it,
It's weird.
yeah, and it can be longer than that. And they say that it's working the whole time that it's in your system. So
Right.
long after you leave, it's still working.
Oh yeah. So, like doesn't seem like I connect is like obviously to my higher self. But do y'all have anything that y'all like to share? Anything else, like maybe a moment that you can, maybe it's another moment that you maybe connect to higher ancestors, or I know Pam, we talked about, even like you talking to, I think you saw like, didn't you say something like Obama and Martin Luther King and all that?
Images. Yes, it was images of great people, right? So the now it's just in my head. I felt like it was like Martin Luther King, Coretta Scott. It was Barack Obama and Michelle. So my takeaway was I know you are a very influential person, so I took away from it like that's the path of greatness that is in you. And I think it was like preparing me, like as your wife, to that's what I need to be looking towards. That's what I took away from it. But also other images I would see, and it's crazy how everything connected. I would see like family tree, and the place where we ate at, it was called Roots. And so, of course, like even Rhythmia, it has the picture of it is basically like a family tree, and it has roots at the bottom. But I did a lot of that with, like, family is very important to me. So I was able to see my family dynamics as far as from past, even current to like where our relationships is, even with our children. And then, focusing on how I want that to be in the future. So that's kind of like some of the things I took away.
Yeah, and Adam, man. So those that's watching this, man, because one of the things that as I'm always doing business, I'm doing real estate, but I'm really taking my health to the highest level that I can take it to, right? For me, my family. But someone's watching this and they want to, they thinking about going to do ayahuasca, right? What are some practices they can prepare? Because again, shout out to Diva. Oh, by the way, Diva is currently what Diva? Where your wife at right now? How about
She is at Rhythmia right now.
She can't be present. Yes.
So she is in a breathwork class right now as we speak at Rhythmia.
So she's at Rhythmia right now as we speak right now. She went back again. So we just left 4 months. She back there again with your daughter.
Yep.
Right. Aliyah is there too as well. But so practices, like you just said, breath work is one of them. But what are some things that people can do? Again, Diva, shout out. She did a great job on preparing us, right, to get ready for it. But can you share so those listen?
Yeah, so definitely breath work, I would say is number one, because that prepares you for going through the tough parts of it, because you need to focus on your breath, and that'll kind of help push you through to the other side. Meditation definitely is going to help. And then diet, you need to be in shape and you need to be eating the right stuff. You don't want to go there feeling like crap. And there is a special diet that they recommend that you follow anyway, so that you get the most out of it. If you put those components together between the meditation, the breath work, and the diet, you'll be prepared, and it's going to help you mentally prepare too. And then also just doing your homework, really knowing what to expect, what the process looks like. That can at least remove some of the anxiety, right? There's still going to be a surprise once it hits you, but leading up to that, just really understanding the process and how things work, and who's going to be there to help you. The shaman, or having them there and knowing that they're there is especially helpful. So yeah, I would say you put all those things together and you'd be prepared.
Yeah, and I say journaling too as well. Yeah. And another thing too for me, All right, and I put this down as far as my comments. Because again, I'm from North Carolina. You know what I'm saying? I grew up around one kind of culture. I didn't really get exposed to other races and culture until I joined the military. And I didn't know nothing about ayahuasca or what was a shaman or anything like that until I met, Adam and his wife. And obviously explained, but I think I didn't do enough research to what to expect. So, when I was there, I was like, I felt like, I'm like, hold on for a minute, man. Like, we gonna do, and I'm like, again, like, you gotta know the culture, how they dress, you know what I'm saying? And, I wasn't expecting some of that. So, I think like part of one of my AR comments was, was for them, Rhythmium, to be able to maybe have the shamans come in class to introduce themselves, introduce their culture, you know what I'm saying? So people can't expect, you know what I'm saying? Instead, you see somebody dressed up all black serving you stuff with it. You know what I mean? Like hold on for a minute. What we doing here? But it was definitely was a journey. I do, ask both of y'all, ask Pam first, do you feel like that you will return back to Rhythmia or to do other, plant-based medicine like ayahuasca?
So I will answer the first question about returning. I would say I went there. I feel like I got what was expected from my breakthrough. So right now I'm in a great space, with everything that I have going on. So me personally, I wouldn't return unless, of course, there's something that's going on in my life where I feel like, okay, now at this point, I need to return. Plant-based, again, something, yes, I would. Like you said, we've been looking into more cleaner eating. I got a juicer for my birthday, Adam. So,
And Norma J2, shout out Norma J2, get you one.
So I've been enjoying that. It's been very good, very clean. So yeah, I'm very open to more natural things without a lot of research and stuff that we're.
I don't know. I even seen you ask Adam. Like he got the T-shirt. He's like pro at there.
But again, I feel like if there was trauma or something in my life, I feel like I would have a place to return, to know what to do. Or even if I don't return, I have the steps to be able to, do it if I had to do it at home. I think I got the tools and the resources.
Okay. Now, so we're gonna wrap this up, all right? And when we wrap it up, I got if I'm gonna ask y'all both. I start with you, Adam.
Yeah.
If someone is thinking, about is considering coming, right? They consider it coming and written, what would you tell that person who's considering to take this journey, but they unsure though? They're unsure. To go down the path. What would you tell them?
I think like anything that you're anything new that you're wanting to get into, if you talk to some people that have already done it and get as much information as you can, that'll help you make a better educated decision. So, talk to myself, talk to you guys, anybody in our group that's gone, reach out to us. We're happy to talk to you. We can, give you some advice on what to expect, give you our experiences from it. And if you do that, you prepare yourself, then you can have a great experience. And I think anybody who thinks they maybe have some trauma they need healed, some serious stuff, all the way to just a business person who's entering the next chapter of their life and they're looking for a breakthrough, or they're trying to answer some tough question in their head. To your point, you actually had a business decision come up during a ceremony. And so this isn't just for somebody that's looking to heal trauma. This is for somebody just looking for answers or hoping for some guidance. It really is an interesting plant and all of the things that it can offer you, not just healing trauma, and can help you just break through to that next phase of your life.
Yeah, and to cap off with Adam's point, I would say it's a very personal journey.
Yeah.
Like you would have to know you're not going there for no one else. Like you really are doing this for yourself. So when people are setting goals, very personal to themselves as to where they want to see themselves in life, like Adam said, in business, with your family, like whatever it is. I think this is a great step in that direction because it's all about you. Like you're doing the work, you're seeing the results. And not only, it's very easy to do things in a controlled environment, right? I said that because, when you go to Rhythmia, you're away from distractions, or you're just away from work, you're away from your family, you're away from everything. So they give you the time to do the work. So after that is done, there's still support that they continue to provide you when you do leave. So just being mindful that, yes, there is that place and space, but you as an individual, when you're going, you still have to return back to reality. So you still want to continue those implementations of those things that Adam talked about even prior to getting there. Start eating clean, doing your meditation, breath work. So when you return, you still have to do those things to get the continued results that you felt while you were there, right? So you want to get to that space, you want to get to that relief, but you want to keep it and continue it. You want to be able to maintain it.
And D, I have one quick update for you, and this really speaks to how serious they take their business over there, and how serious they take feedback from people. So the feedback that you gave them at Rhythmia, I just got updated from Diva. They implemented every single thing that you suggested.
Really?
Yes, all of those changes have now been implemented. It was every single thing that you brought up to them.
Oh, wow, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
No, that's great. It's great. That's great. That's phenomenal. All right, listen up. So first off, hey, I want you to make sure you like and subscribe this video, because what me and Pam is doing, we embarking on this. We're going to be going over around the world, finding the best treatments, the best medicine. Our next trip here is next month. We'll be flying out June. We'll be going to Turkey, to the Memorial Hospital. And we're going to be doing what they call the VIP checkup, or the top executive checkups. And this is going to give us a medical checkup from A to Z. I'm talking about I'm talking about everything from genetic testing to food sensitivity testing, heart, lungs. I'm talking about everything. And the price is a fraction of cost. I think we're spending about, they Pels, because she's a female, is about almost $4,000 on doing the $3,000, but they also have a $1,000 packet too, called the VIP one. And we doing the full body, everything A to Z, which is their highest packet. And it's $3,000 for males, $4,000 for females. And we're going to record, we're going to make sure we're going to do another podcast. I'm going to get a camera guy so we can make sure we record all this, so we can get this information out. And we also will be going out later this year. We'll be going to stem cells, where we'll be doing stem cells in Panama too as well. I know Rhythmium, they do stem cells, but I've been, again, searching, trying to figure out who is the best of what we're looking for. So again, we'll be sharing, our goal is, everybody's always talking about making money, but you also want to live a healthy life, and most important, a clean life. So with that being said, that's a wrap, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe. Have a great day.
See you guys.